measures that we put in place to ensure that these victims
spread before it goes to the entire world, then this pandemic will not be what the paper is written on unless it changes those fundamentals. That's what we're calling this press conference. That's why we are requesting that you raise your voice too, and I think we have the best people here. They're focused it, they have the instruments to make this one a big one. Yes, it is, the date is 27th this month, the 1st of June. I think the week towards this, and during that week, we need to be reminding our representatives. We also have the negotiating team on the ground. I think there is a lot of pressure on them, but I think our request to them is that they raise to remember they are first human before they are business people or their ministers or their politicians. And when the pandemic hit, it did not mind whether it's my sister from the church, whether it's people in the politics. It did not mind whether you are young or old. It did not matter the color. The pandemic knows no borders. That reminds us, basically all of us are human beings. The color is an adaptation to the.
I asked God to have favor on me. There was nothing else. I had nothing because all my lungs were white and then I had nothing. So I was put on vent. Vent nile inside. Now you don't talk and you are inside, it's on vent for 21 days. So it was not easy for me. I economically, I paid a lot of money. That was 1.7 million. There was no insurance that was paying for me. Even the NHIF was not paying for me, and my own insurance did not pay for me. So the money had to be covered from my friends. So I suffered a lot, and when I came out of the hospital, I had high blood pressure, which I'm dealing with now. I had diabetes, which I'm dealing with. I had heartburn, and the long COVID also with the asthma. And then I had to stay, and I'm now still using the same medication. My legs and everything else almost failed. So I'm lucky that I didn't fail my kidney, but I had to go intensive care. So if this fund does not come back, some people like us will die. Okay? Some people like us will not survive. So we need the funds, we need funding, so that at least we will file hospital with my sis. And when I went there, I was told my oxygen level is 44. Those who know about it. So I was rushed into a room, and when I went there, I found myself alone. So there was a lot of stigma. I stayed there for 30 minutes. Then I saw people coming with all those cylinders, and I was put in the ICU. So the last moment that when I was at the ICU, what I heard is, oh my God, we are losing her. Okay? And another thing that I heard is that I needed medicine for 300,000. That time. And those are the things that I had. Then 2 weeks down the line is when I asked where I am, and I'm told I am in the ICU. So one of the things that made me to, one of the many things that made me.
We have floods. We are yet to count the amount of health problems that are coming in, and be prepared. Yet we cannot cry foul by saying we don't have money when we just stamp as a country that we are a middle-income country. So the problem is ours, and it is ours to solve. And this issue of, and that is why I appealed to the highest officers, because they will understand better than all those people in the August House.
In the room, even that 20% is going to be agreed. So as African civil societies, we need also to go back to our ministers of health, even though we have few days, but to make sure that there should be a very strong solidarity from especially the African group on that one. On the financing bits of PPPR agreement, even though there has been some progress and agreement seems to be happening, there are also some details we need to really consider. Even though the financing mechanism is not as it was originally requested, at least we can influence for a better financing coordinating mechanism so that lower and middle income countries are also better positioned for this. Also, we need to have a financing mechanism for prevention and surveillance, especially for low and middle income countries. Finally, as civil societies, CSOs have not really been actively participating in the negotiations.
Other civil societies in raising their voices in concern, echoing the sentiments of many across the global health community. The recent proposal for the WHO pandemic agreement really stirs a lot of apprehension. What everybody thought was a beacon of hope for global health security now appears as a shadow of its former self, really diluted by numerous rounds of negotiations. We are finding ourselves at a time where we are looking at a text of an agreement that is devoid of any vigor, that is laden with a lot of platitudes, and woefully lacking in mechanisms for accountability. As civil society, our concerns are not unfounded. It seems like many developed nations have prioritized the interests of pharmaceutical giants over the collective welfare of humanity. The compromise that is proposed for the personal gene access and benefit sharing system, as characterized by the Lancet, indicates that this is shameful and unjust, and also portrays a lot of ignorance of the lessons that we painfully learned during the COVID